Welcome back. Right here in our kitchen is Lindsay Hargett of LK Cooking. Very excited having Lindsay here. We always love what she cooks. Always a pleasure having you. How are you?
Thanks, I'm doing great. Thanks, how are you?
I know you've been very busy, very involved. Tell me about some things you've been doing lately.
So I've been traveling a lot this year actually, because I cook for people on their vacations, family vacations. I actually come up here to Park City quite a bit and I love it. So I cook on their family vacations, on their work retreats, things like that. So I've been all over from up here in this area down to, I've been to Moab and Zion National Park and stuff. So I've been traveling a lot, kind of getting ready to be home a little bit more and teaching some cooking classes. That's been a big thing for Christmas, is giving the gift of a cooking class and an experience and something like that. And really, if you give somebody that you lived with, a roommate, a significant other, a cooking class, it's really a gift for yourself, because then they come home and they're like, look what I can do, and you're like, I'm a genius.
That's a great idea, actually. I love it. You've been so busy, as you mentioned, with cooking classes. You also cook for events, for individuals, do many things, and of course you've seen so much change over the past 20 or so months.
Definitely.
What trends are you seeing now, especially with what you're doing? Are people wanting to get out more? Are they getting more interested? Are things back to this new normal, per se?
I definitely saw a lot of uptick in family trips where they were coming here to kind of escape and things like that, didn't want to go to restaurants with big groups. So that's definitely a thing. And then just cooking classes, because again, people were kind of stir crazy. We couldn't really get out and do as much. And so, again, they wanted a more secure, safe, one-on-one or just family group event. And so those have been great things, honestly. So it's been really good.
And I feel like many of us are wanting to spend more time with our loved ones, with our friends and family, and with food, and being able to do this in our homes. That's just taken on a new priority, I think, throughout what has happened with the pandemic. And speaking of which, Thanksgiving is here.
You've
got some
holiday.
Great recipes for us to celebrate.
Yes. Okay. So in the past, we've talked about your classic things. We've talked about turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and stuff, which are great. But we want to add. We're going to do kind of bookends: a salad for the beginning, dessert for the end, and we're going to do a salad. I've noticed in our Thanksgiving foods, which I'm not complaining about, they're all super heavy and delicious, and you just need 3 naps afterwards, which is great. But it's also good to have something fresh, something green to kind of balance it out, even if yes, it adds a healthy aspect, but like I said, it kind of balances. You've got some really heavy savory, you've got some light, and then you can keep going and make it to dessert. So
I think it's a perfect plan. I love it. So you've got a delicious salad for us.
Yes.
It also looks unique to me.
Yeah, so we've got kind of a fall salad. We usually think of salads in the summer with fresh berries and but we need to eat them all year long, and it's really good too. So I've got some fresh greens here. These are actually grown right down by me in Pleasant Grove, but you can get them all over the place. And they're grown hydroponically. They're really soft. It's super good. It's called Snuck Farm.
They look incredible,
and
actually.
They are delicious. This will make you want to eat salad all year long.
Yeah.
So we've got some greens here. We're going to add some microgreens as well. Microgreens are a great way to get a good pop of nutrients in just a small amount of stuff, because these cute little seedlings here basically just are full of nutrients, and then they another little added freshness. So we're gonna add, I roasted some butternut squash. If you just want to do a couple spoonfuls of those in there. We're also gonna do some pomegranate seeds, so just kind of go nuts with that.
There's some seasonings on this squash. What'd you put on it?
Yeah, so I just did some lemon pepper. We've talked about Redmond Real Salt before. It's their lemon pepper blend. It is so good. Just roasted it with some olive oil and any seasoning blend you want. To make this salad more fall-y, more evergreen, we are doing, ingredients that you would use at this time of year. So pomegranates are in season, squash is, kind of at the end of its season, but it's kind of always in season as well. You can do some of those roasted pumpkin seeds right there. That is super fitting as well. I love goat cheese. You can do some feta as well.
Oh, great taste in this.
So it does have a lot of flavors. I'm definitely the kind of person that considers salad a sissy food, is what I call it. I'm all for the mashed potatoes on any meal, but again, I like the balance in, textures and flavors and freshness and stuff like that. So, but I do add the cheese to give it some more savory, and the toppings really, really help. This dressing is another thing that totally converted me to being a salad eater, other than having really good greens. And I make this dressing, I have it in my fridge constantly. And so all it is we've got a couple of, I basically pureed some garlic cloves here, just with my zester. And here, I'll actually let you do the olive oil. Salad dressings are super, super easy. They require no measurements or anything. So just feel to like
hey,
there.
trust me.
Totally, we can't mess this up. If you do too much, we just have more salad dressing.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna zest some lemon as well. We're gonna do 2 aspects of this lemon to give it like both pops of flavor. We're gonna do some lemon zest, which has those like lemon essential oils. And we don't wanna go down below this like white part right here. That's where you get to like the bitter part of the lemon. So we just wanna do this like exterior, the really bright yellow. So we're gonna do that, and then just some good zest. And then we will also add, I know it's got some good fresh flavors. We'll also add some of the lemon juice. So we're just gonna cut this in half.
I have to say, while you cut that, I'm impressed that you made something for us that in the past wasn't really your favorite. That you just didn't really value the salad, and here we are making salad. So I love how you learn new things, not just for yourself, but also for your clients, for your classes,
Totally.
and then you really can grow your business and grow your knowledge as well.
I'm totally a reformed picky eater. I grew up so picky, would not have eaten any of these things I brought today, not even a single component of it. And so when I decided I wanted to be a chef when I was young, and I was like, I need a more refined palate. I started with escargot, thinking that that's what chefs eat.
That's a big thing to start with.
Still not my favorite, but who does really love that? So yeah, I kind of had to find, what worked for me with salads, and the same is true for everybody. Like find, if you don't like eating salads or this, that, or the other, find a way to make it so you like it. Like you're in control, you're in charge.
I love that. It's such a good idea.
Pack it full of a bunch of delicious stuff.
Well, I'm curious you decided to become a chef when you were so picky.
Yeah, I guess I loved like the creative aspect of it. I loved watching cooking shows and pretending like I was on a cooking show. So, it comes full circle.
And you have an impressive grinder too.
This was a good wedding present. So we've got some pepper. We're gonna do some kosher salt here. You wanna do a thicker grain salt instead of like a fine sea salt in here, because you'll really get those like pops of salt. And again, we're going for flavor here. We don't want a sissy salad.
No.
So we're gonna add, this is like a garlic Dijon maple vinaigrette. So we're gonna add a little bit of Dijon mustard. If you add some like whole grain mustard too, that is super, super good. And then to make it a little like fall festive-y and give it like a little pop of sweetness as well, we're gonna add some maple syrup.
Oh, delicious.
Not a ton, but we've got a lot of like strong like garlic and Dijon and salt flavors in there. So this just, again, balance to everything.
And you're just not measuring anything. You're just estimating. I'm impressed.
Nope. So all we're gonna do, where did I put my lid? It's right here. All you're gonna do is, just add all of those things in there, and then you kind of shake it to emulsify it. If you blend it, it will stay combined longer, but if you just do this every time you wanna eat it, it is delicious. So let me pour that over the top. It is so good.
Delicious. Oh, I can't wait to dig in. I'm ready.
So we've got our, like I said, we're doing bookends. So we've got our salad there,
and dessert.
And then we're gonna do dessert, because as a reformed picky eater and just a big sweet tooth lover in general, we are going to make dessert. But there are ways that you can make them a little bit better, and pumpkin cookies are totally a thing this time of year. I mean, they're always at the grocery store. I always had them, in that little plastic box from the grocery store growing up. But as with most things, homemade is just so much better. And this is one of those really, really easy cookie recipes. And I'm gonna show you how to like elevate it a little. You don't need to do this, but it's fun to see how to use this, this ingredient. So if you've ever seen sugar pumpkins at the grocery store, usually you think, oh, that belongs on my porch, it's so cute.
Yeah.
And they are, but as long as you're getting the right kind of pumpkin, again, it has to be a sugar pumpkin. You can't get a carving pumpkin, it won't taste very good. Because you're just supposed to carve it and put it on your porch. But the sugar pumpkins, you just treat it, I think people are kind of intimidated by them because, we're just used to carving them and putting them on the porch.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is cook this like any other squash, so like you would a spaghetti squash, etc. And how I do that is I cut it in half, so you've got these halves like this, and I'll even show you the one with seeds in it. So I just cut it in half, and I don't seed it before cooking it because we've all carved a pumpkin, we all know how hard it is to scrape those seeds out of there. So all I do is I cut it in half like this, and I put it seed side down in a pan, and so I put them down like this. I add a little bit of water to my pan so that it doesn't dry it out, because a lot of people roast them face up like this just with some olive oil, but it dries them out. So if you do it face down, they cook a little faster because they've got direct contact contact with the pan, and then add a little water to give some moisture there. So then all you do, you scrape the seeds out. It's super, super easy once they're cooked. And then to get this beautiful like pureed pumpkin that you get from the grocery store, all you have to do is blend it. So you could put it in your food processor, put it in your blender, whatever. So you just cook it till it's fork tender, and see it just kind of comes out like that. And you get all of like, you know, the meat out. So basically, it's the same as how we cooked that butternut squash over there for the salad. I peeled the butternut squash first and just chopped it, but you could like scrape it out of here and just like chop this up. It'd be a little messier. So we're just gonna get a little bit of this out of here so I can show you really how, like, break down how easy it is to, you know, get pureed pumpkin. So we won't even do that whole thing. So we've got some of those pumpkin chunks in there, and all we're gonna do is just puree it for a second. And you're seeing that it is just, you know, blending up like that. And it turns into this like beautiful, just like the can.
It really does, just like the can.
And that color is so much more vibrant than the can. Like, it just tastes so much better. And you can use this pumpkin for anything. Use it for your pumpkin pies. Use it for, you know, your cookies. We all know I'm crazy about my dogs, and my dogs, like, pumpkin is really, really good for animals. And so then you just add it to your ingredients. Our ingredients here, we've just got like some flour, some salt, you know, baking soda, baking powder. We've got some cinnamon. In here, you can do, I love doing coconut oil, because then when you chill the dough, they hold together like even better. And, you know, egg, sugar, things like that, just basic cookie ingredients. And you add this pureed pumpkin in there, and it turns into these like super soft cookies, if you want one.
I do, yes.
And so, like I said, they're just so much better than the store-bought ones. They're just super fluffy, super light, and you know, you add chocolate chips in there, you add some nuts, and they're just the best. So you can totally do this with store-bought pumpkin. Don't let the, you know, making the pumpkin intimidate you. Just use it the regular way. But you can use the regular, like the pumpkin like this, and it is just the best.
It is so good.
Oh, you're having it.
Excuse me, I'm like choking on something.
So that always happens. So this is a super easy thing. Like I said, you can do this with, you know, you can use this pumpkin in anything. I like to puree the whole thing and then keep it in a jar like this, and like I said, use it for everything. So it's great for this like Thanksgiving time of year. It's really, really fun for kids to kind of see where it comes from and everything, and then just use up those pumpkins, as long as you're using the right kind.
I love how simple you make it easy, and you know, it is simple to just grab that can of pumpkin, but to be able to roast it is so much better.
Yeah,
and I did not know that it was easier to pull out the seeds.
Totally. Yeah, I'll even show you really quick.
Yeah.
Like we've got the seeds in there, and really it's like just that easy. So if you're ever making any kind of squash, spaghetti squash, butternut squash, anything, always scoop your seeds out afterwards, because it's just so much easier. So save yourself the trouble for sure.
Absolutely. So, sorry, where can we find more information about everything you're doing, your cooking classes, and these delectable recipes?
So, you can find more about me. I'm most active on Instagram. It's just LK Cooking. That's kind of where you can find me anywhere, lkcooking.com. LK Cooking on Instagram. I'll be showing all of my like Thanksgiving things that I'm doing this week. I have a lot of, because we've talked about in the past, my stuffing, my turkey recipe that you can make in the slow cooker to make it really easy. All of those just at lkcooking.com, and yeah, follow me along on Instagram to see all my festivities.
Well, we always love having you here. We'll follow along on Instagram, and what fun things to make for your Thanksgiving table. So thank you so much, Lindsay. We appreciate your time and are excited to dig in. So we're going to take a quick break and eat right here on Mountain Connection, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.